Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural Elm City LIT Fest. And we have been lit today. I am Ife Michelle Gardine. I'm the founder of Elm City LIT Fest, part of a three-sister team of Charmaine McAllister, Emily Mayo, and myself. And we are so delighted to have you here today for our segment called CT's Lit. We're going to showcase some fabulous poets from all over the state of CT. Our first lineup will be Hartford's Poet Laureate, Frederick Douglass Knowles. He's an educator, an activist, and fervent in achieving community augmentation through literary arts. He's the inaugural Poet Laureate of Hartford and a recipient of the Nutmeg Poetry Award in the 2020 Connecticut Arts Fellow in Artist Excellence for poetry and non-creative fiction. Frederick Douglass is the author of Black Rose City and associate professor of English at Three Rivers Community College in Norwich. And you are about to hear Frederick Douglass Knowles, the Hartford Public Poet Laureate. Take it away, Frederick.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Thank you for including me part of the inaugural Elm City Lit Fest. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna do a piece for you since I'm outside. One of my favorite poems. It's a beautiful day out here, and I've always been fascinated with the clouds and so forth. So this poem is called "Above the Clouds." If I were a cloud, I wonder where I would go. I wonder if I'd be free of the responsibilities that make me who I am. If I were a cloud, if my spirit were a cloud, I'd float through the atmosphere as the spheres of atoms arrange themselves around the perimeter of my aura. If I were a cloud, my soft-centered soul would hide no secrets. I wonder if I'd travel in a thick cumulus crown of clouds, or would I be that one lonely solitude soul, searching for the seashore alone, searching alone, drifting out to sea aimlessly wandering while watching the whales work their way out of the water, waiting for the right moment to exhale, watching the flight of a hawk as it stalks its prey from the shoulder tips of my existence, using me as camouflage, dodging and swaying while keeping its eyes focused on the prize. If I were a cloud, my soft soul would hide no secrets. I'd be transparent and you see right through me. You would see that I hold no jealousy, no envy, no sorrows to conceal me, no gravity to ground me. You see fields of me, shield to protect the people of this planet, for I can be seen on the other side of the galaxy. I am the guardian of my God and the messenger of the meek. If I were a cloud, I'd no longer be in need of the materials of man. I'd float over Saharan sands and spoil devilish plans by blocking out sunlight and take the sight of all those who live in deceit and spite. When they see me become great and ugly, they become weary and run from me. You see, they run and hide in fear of the sky, for when we cry, tall tales and white lies get rocked to sleep like lullabies, because we are the epitome of free and the gatekeepers to eternity. So if you cannot listen to me, well then look at me. Look at us as we flush the monstrous mush of the dish you put upon our trust, because we will be left standing when your ash returns to dust, for it is written, and therefore must your time here is short, but ours is time less. If I were a cloud, if my spirit were a cloud, I'd shapeshift from a mist to the abyss, in front of your eye, to witness the existence of my persistence, to pass this passage of promises to those who pay homage to the King and Queen of Muhammad. I've been birthed to manipulate moisture, to make me make you, move your mind as it intertwines with spiritual chimes from the top side of mountains to streams and fountains. I give expansions to lunar mansions. I transform crevices into grand canyons, enhance the mortal two-step into solar dancing while panting the breath of life from day to night. I see all that is out of sight. I give spectrums to light. I absorb toxins of plight and strike lightning upon life in attempts to slow you down. I cast shadows upon holy ground and I speak without sound, dropping raindrops on your mind without ever falling down. If I were a cloud, if my spirit were a cloud, my course in life would be shadowing the moon at night as it absorbs energy from the sea that reflects through me, from the sun of the mother who birthed me. If I were a cloud, if my spirit were a cloud, this is who I would be. Peace. It's been a poem of mine for a very long time. I've carried in my soul, and I think it's a beautiful day to spit a poem like that. So I'm just gonna keep going. I got like 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna share some of my mind right now. So let's go with Griot. Why not? Feels good. Our ancestry is not in a .com. It's in our stories. I'm an oral traditionist. Call me Griot, the great keeper of the scripture. African herb man delivered this diary from the diaspora. From Plymouth to Trenchtown Rock. Smell what I'm cooking with no quill or no pen, just a mere vibration of an from Cairo to Brooklyn, my kin was cooking. Compile into a manifest, no destiny could manifest, no database could determine. I give the gas face to Germans, Englishmen, Frenchmen, Dutchmen, and any African who sold beautiful black children like vermin. Our ancestry is not in a .com. My spirit tells me, tell the kids. I'm talking square biz. Love that is. For every elder who told me bedtime stories. From Kalamazoo to Timbuktu, I pass these stories from me to you. It's my duty from the divine. These stories are etched in my mind like the universe and Ishmael's back. Who without Captain Ahab would have never had Jack. Call me Griot the Great. And make no mistake, they injected melanoma into Bob Marley's skin. CIA Malcolm in front of his children. They nightmare Morton's dream smashed John Lennon like a beetle, gave it to Gandhi in the gut, fed Fela Kuti, HIV Kuti, Marcellus Muhammad Ali into a mute. They cancered Cochrane's cortex, slipped Micah Mickey, JFK, Bobby Kennedy, liquefied Lumumba, shot Tupac Shakur, and blamed Biggie. Believe me, I know it sounds absurd. I'm a storyteller. I calculate every word, verb, vowel, and phoneme to say what I mean and mean when I say I don't dance with the devil in the pale moonlight without my mother's permission. Your purpose is to listen, pass this rendition to the next generation, make them aware of what they're facing, come prepared and not complacent. Time's a wasting, so what you waiting for? I'm an oral traditionist. I've been commissioned to give it to you raw, like ODB to skeeky syphilis coursing through my arteries, piercing like archery. Humanity's not an oddity. It's me and you, me and you. Tell your story. It's what you've been sent to do. From sun up to Michael Brown, down. It's going down, little fish. Swim or drown. Jonah, your whale. And Moby Dick, these cats hold the key to our ancestry incessantly. It incenses me. That's why I've been sent to kneel the agent who tries to repress me. And all I need you to do is to play with these parables like Messiah marbles and marvel and the prodigious plan that you're part of. Now hug me and help me help society cast these demons that taunt me. Our ancestry is not in a .com. It's in our stories. I'm an oral traditionist. Call me Griot the Great. And that piece pays homage to the ancestors, to the oral tradition, stemming from Africa all the way here through our veins at this very moment. I'm gonna do this last piece and then get out your way. I'm out and about in the community and so forth, so you can hear the world behind me and so forth. But that's what poetry is about. Um, yeah, I secrete a secret through ink block secretion, so you can't sell my soul on Wall Street auction blocks. blocked off for 23 Maryland Chicago Bulls who slammed big brown NBA balls into ISIS paper vaginal orifices to incubate my metamorphosis through a hung jury dirty cop court case, leaving behind a young black corpse in the case. The single millennial born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen, homeland Guantanamo Bay is killing me softly. They smorgasbord our babies over open pit flames. They picked the niggas who ate watermelon to cleanse their intestines of the spiritual muck, soul food that was made into a meal, that was fed to a family, that was severed like the front, back, hoof, rump, balls, eyes, and ass from Farmer John Pig. Can I live to decide my life before my light is snuffed out by a 4,000 foot per second mega blast to the back? It's 10 o'clock, Holmes. Where's your seat at? Some Wu-Tang wisdom. You got a crew? You better tell them. The city state swole like a worm's. Tell them. Slugging your back, these pigs ain't gelling. Call me a snitch, I'm straight telling like send me the bull, because this is bull, and I'm ready to castrate corporate America by keeping my Benjamins in a hole, like Montgomery bus economical tactics. 32 got caught shaving points. AIDS never happened to Magic. Afeni lived and died in LA because Pac was a ghetto bastard. And I'll back this with Dick Gregory 5% gems. Black out the booth because I'm going in. Paid homage to the Black Madonna before she was a virgin. My breastplate stay on burn. And if they put Harriet on the back of a 20, then I'll make it rain Tubmans. To watch a worm squirm on the concrete like a can of Coke on pork. I used to be a vegan, but now ain't nothing but beef on my fork. I got PTSD. I can't sleep beneath white sheets. The boogeyman is black, cause ain't nobody else got rhythm like that. I'm a modern day Mau Mau with a map and a Mac, bound to discover where Columbus's grandkids is at. So I can Freddie grade them in the back of a paddy wagon with no seatbelt attached. Amanti Santa Maria and Feliz Navidad, the ship he flipped to a garrison on Haiti's shore. And that's why there ain't no Arawak native people no more. So now I wink at white girls every chance I get, so I never forget the way they split Emmett Till's face in two. I secrete a secret through ink block secretion, so it's no longer a secret what these dirty demons is up to. That one pays homage to social injustice. I got 3 minutes left, so why not, huh? Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 47. My father passed away when I was 6 months old, so this poem's for him. It's called For a Day. If I could just dance with my dad for a day so he could take the questions that never ever seem to stop. And if I could just dance with my dad for a day to help fill this empty hole that consumes my heart, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day so he could take away the tears that never, ever, ever, ever seem to stop. I'm sorry. Rewind. If I could just dance with my dad for a day so he can take the questions that seem to run through my mind, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to help me see things clear that are normally blind, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to take the tears that never ever seem to stop, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to help fill the empty hole that consumes my heart, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to take the pressure that lies upon my shoulders, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to watch me transcend from a boy to a man and grow older, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to teach me how to heal this world with love and peace, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to teach me how to hold my hands high in front of police, and if I could just dance with my dad for a day to look into his ebony eyes and see my very own, and if I could just dance with my dad for one day, so at least for one day I wouldn't feel all alone and miss you. Peace, Elm City Fest. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of the inaugural Elm City Lit Fest. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to City of Hartford for nominating me your inaugural poet laureate and so forth. Hope I'm holding the job down successfully and so forth. If not, get at me, let me know. You can get at me at Freedom Douglas on IG. You can get at me at Frederick Douglas Knowles II on Facebook. Check out the book Black Rose City, website frederickdouglasknowles.com. Thank y'all. One love. Peace.
We are grateful to the poet laureate. Oh, birthday blessings, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. And when you get a chance, look on Facebook at all the birthday blessings that you got.
Absolutely, I definitely will. Thank you, love. Thank you all
Heartfelt
very much, and enjoy the rest of the day. I shall, and enjoy the rest of the festival. Peace and blessings.
blessing. Next up, we have New Haven's own Sun Queen poet, activist, artist, inspirational messenger. Sun published her first collection of poetry entitled It Happened Within the Sun in 2019. Her work has been described as beautifully capturing and with divine insight. Sun walks through her life being nothing but pure and true to her authentic self. Through her passion and love for advocacy and guidance, she plans to encourage others, especially Black women, to be able to share their stories. And Sun also has a line, a product line called Black Girls of Sunshine. I encourage everyone to look her up and buy some of her merchandise. Get it. Pay a sister. She working hard out there in these streets. And we welcome Poet Sun Queen.
Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Elm City Lit Fest. Thank you, Ife. I'm going to start this by saying, and this isn't mine, this is from our sister, Asata Shakur. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. So, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. And again, it is our duty to win. We must love each other. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. And that is from our sister, Ashata Shakur. As Sister Ife mentioned, I am a activist. And so I have to give the voice for the voiceless. And it is my duty to speak for Black women, Black people. And I just hope that I am doing what I'm supposed to do to walk in my light and to fight for Black lives and Black liberation. I am going to ask that you will extend me some grace and some love. I just wrote this piece, so I am going to take it slow. And again, thank you, Elm City Lit Fest. And I'm gonna start this piece by saying, arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. Arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Breonna, Breonna, Breonna. Breonna, Breonna, Breonna. Breonna, Breonna, Breonna. Breonna. I just hope that you're able to be a medic, to be a part of the helping profession, wherever you land across this universe. Brianna. The system doesn't want to write us down in history for our magic. Instead, they want to execute us for our existence. Officers didn't sign up to protect and defend our Blackness, but to falsify reports claiming we weren't cooperating, antagonizing us to elevate our tone, writing in their notes that we have weapons. What weapons? What weapons? The pigment of my skin? The reality is that we are dying every day, and some of us do not even make the news. Complaints of police violence gets thrown away in NIA. IA. What's internal investigation? I think I was on mute. Let me rewind. Claiming I wasn't cooperating, antagonizing to elevate my tone, writing in their notes I have a weapon. What weapon? What weapon? What weapon? The pigment of my skin? The reality is we all are dying every day. Some of us just don't make the news. Complaints of police violence, police brutality, however you want to name it, gets thrown away in IA. What? Internal investigation. Racism spreading like wildfire. From Tulsa to Connecticut. Every day, my Black people are a target. How do I win? The system keep getting in my way. The system keep getting in my way. I can't change the color of my skin. The criminal justice system is a problem. It just want to harm us. The Constitution that don't even include us. They mad when we kneel just to hold us down. The news paints us as a negative body, a negative intention, like we come with negative energy, like we aren't made of gold, like they don't hate us for our melanin. They sold our ancestors for profit. They surveillance our neighborhoods, acting like we don't know that the cops and Klan go hand in hand. I'm not pledging to a flag that oppresses us. See, because automatically my people fit the description. Medical apartheid, institutional racism, genocide, mass incarceration, inequality, injustice. And you know what? They don't read us our rights. They just want to stop us from breathing and walking and talking and driving, and they want to steal our Black joy. Their goal is to send us home to mama, to daddy, to our families and body bags. America doesn't want us to win. Voter suppression, knees in our backs, knees in our backs, knees in our backs, knees in our necks. 26 shots, and they ain't even knock. 26 shots, and they didn't even knock. 26 shots, and they ain't even knock. Brianna, Brianna, Brianna. Brianna, Brianna, Brianna. Brianna, Brianna, Brianna. And BLM is claimed to be a terrorist group. Mass incarceration, all of this, all of what I have mentioned is all because of the color of our skin. Your tears, your pain, your heartache. Your tears, your pain, your heartache, your heartbreak. Your tears, your pain, your heartache. To the system, it doesn't matter. The system wants to hold me down. The system wants to hold me down. How do I win? Because the system wants to keep me down. The system wants to keep me down. They don't want accountability. They don't even understand transparency. They just want us to continue to die. America, take your chains off of us. Mr. Officer, take your cuffs off of us. America, oh, can't you see? America, oh, can't you see? America, America. America, take your chains off of us. America, oh, can't you see we are targets and being terrorized from dusk to dawn? Institutional racism putting us in our graves. Karen's and Becky's always thinking we're robbing and stealing. Karen's and Becky's always thinking that we're robbing and stealing. Karen's and Becky's always thinking we're doing everything but living. Karen's and Becky's, white silence is violence. America, you place the war on Black lives and you acquit the blue uniforms. Rewind, let me say that again. Because America, you placed a war on Black lives and you acquit the blue uniforms. And some ways, somehow, we got this thing called blue lives. What is that? America, you placed a war on Black lives and you acquit the blue lives, those badges. The rockets and bombs are bursting in our communities. You reject and dehumanize us for our lives. Your daily goal is to eliminate us with your Jim Crow policies because you want to honor Black. You want to honor badges, You want to honor badges over Black lives. Mr. Officer, you just murdering us. You don't keep us safe due to the melanin of our skin. You smile and grin while killing us with your 45 or your 9mm. You place your knee in our necks, your foot in our backs. You beat, abuse, and murder us. See, what y'all need to know is I wasn't born to be a hashtag. I wasn't born to be a hashtag. I was not born to be a hashtag. You got me twisted. I'm gonna flex in my complexion, and I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Peace, y'all. Thank you for your grace. I just wrote that piece an hour or so ago. In the struggle, in the midst of the struggle, we have to remember who we are. Black people, I love you. I hear you. I see you, and I feel you. Black is alpha and omega. Black is plan A and B. Achieving and believing. Black is beautiful. Black is brilliant. Black is bold. Black goes beyond my cheekbones. Black lives matter. Black voices matter. Black girls matter. Black women matter. Black women matter. Black men matter. Black boys matter. Black mothers matter. Black fathers matter. Black babies matter. See, because Black is the essence of life. And Black love does exist. Black power. Black love. Black love. Black power. Black is liberating. Black is nothing to be ashamed of. Being Black is brilliant. Being Black is everything. Being Black is nothing to apologize for. Being Black is art. Being Black is building pyramids. Black is coming from courageous ancestors. So celebrate your Blackness. Black is the direct light from your ancestors, from your confidence, from your being. Black is powerful. Black is pride. Black is a precious gift. Black is magic. Black is being the daughters and sons of the sun. Black is breathtaking. Black is joy. Black isn't only on Fridays. Black is Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and even on Sundays. Bottom line, my Blackness, your Blackness is beautiful. And every day that you are Black, continue to rise. Every day that you are Black, continue to rise. And make them pay for our ancestral win. Peace. I'm going to do a self-taught piece that is in my book. It happened within the sun. Because life is hard, and sometimes we have to talk to ourselves. We have to speak love and light and power over ourselves. We have to pray. We have to manifest. We have to love. We have to encourage and empower. So this is called Self-Talk, and it could be found on page 79 in my book entitled It Happened Within the Sun, which is a collection of my poetry. This book was written to inspire self-talk. Freedom and peace begins in your mind, so speak it and manifest your healing. Black people, we must heal, we must heal, we must heal. Write affirmations if need be. If you need to see it in order to believe it. Nothing about your magic is untrue. There are opportunities that must await you. Stop being so cold with yourself. There's a light inside of you. Healing will bring warmth upon you, and surely it will display outside of you. You deserve to operate in your truest and highest self, to live in your wildest dreams. Own your dreams, own your voice, own your being, own your heart and your mind and your soul. Trust the process. It may not resemble the calmness as birds in the trees, but when it's all said and done, it will be like a breeze. And just know that we will be all right. I love you. I see you. I hear you. Peace. And again, thank you, Elm City Lit Fest.
Thank you, son, for your ins- inspirational and motivating people to your pieces are activative, and they inspire people to get activated. And we want to thank you for your message and blessings. And I want to repeat, everybody
Peace.
buy her book and buy her merchandise.
Black
But
Girls
she
of Sunshine.
some fly merchandise. Okay.
Peace. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Blessings, sis.
Peace and blessings.
Our next poet is from upstate in Hartford, Sister Nzima Hutchings. Nzima,
Hey,
Nzima is a visionary CEO and one of the founding members of Hartford's Literary Integrated Trailblazers. They keep Hartford lit up there. Nzima is the sole proprietor of Every Kind of Lady Company, an expressive writing company for women. She's an expressive writing and literary wellness coach for both women and girls, and her pieces will inspire healing and wellness and soul searching. So we are welcoming Nzima, and they had and I want to congratulate her. Hartford Lit had a wonderful lit fest last week. We keeping this state lit.
yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. I am honored. And oh, wow. Sun Queen, she's in a Harvest Lit anthology. So it's great to have a chance to go after her because I have never met her before. Anyway, so I'm going to start with a piece called She is Black Tea. And because I believe that Black women are the tea of this earth. We are the powerful beings of this planet. And in the light of everything that's going on and the Breonna Taylor and everything, we just need to be reminded who we are. So we are the she. She is Dewdrop, who learned to drink her in slow. She is the glow of a million moons ago. Folks call her indigo. She is the earth's black tea, stimulating flows and new births. She is everything, quenching everything. She is the breast the world suckles. She is a feminine principle, way beyond queenable. She is dark, deep, like the blue, black, purple sky. So that was that piece. And I'm gonna roll right along. So today I went to Walgreens and and I wasn't gonna read this piece, but I'm gonna read it because I had a Becky and Karen that reminded me that, I might need to get her straight. So I don't know if you all remember the I called it the ex Starbucks lady because she don't work there anymore. She didn't realize she was going to bring all this attention to herself. So the ex Starbucks called the cops on and had the black men arrested. They just wanted to use the bathroom and having a meeting. So, anyways, Karen just be doing too much. So, anyways, this piece is called ex Starbucks manager, and you can find this in the Poetry Cafe Spill book. Hey, Starbucks lady, what, you don't want my kind in your workspace, in your face? What's the matter, Becky? The darker brother got you thinking he's like that black coffee you've been pouring, mixing and stirring and drinking. You realize that it's the darker bean with no sugar or cream, all grande, venti, tall and strong, fucking you in your dreams. Have your head spinning and spinning about baby caramels, little macchiato zebras, crib mobiles and stuffed animals, xenophobia, your daddy's paranoia, and your mom's hysteria. Got you feeling above being still a man in your mouth, lost all control, played your white girl role, mixed it with your ancestor old Jim Crow. But I'm guessing you didn't know the green cream rules and you ain't that queen logo on the Starbucks cup. You just been. So that was that piece. That go out to all the Beckys and Karens and Patties and all of y'all who just can't leave folks alone. We just be living and breathing and walking. I don't know if you guys remember, well, Wayne the last, but with the brother was in the park. And so the next piece that I would like to read is a piece that is a foundational piece to my Every Kind of Lady company. Like your face said, I do workshops and facilitate healing writing with women primarily. And so this is the foundational poem. So every time I have a chance, constancy is an unfair brand of a lady. See, I think that I've been every kind of lady, her and her and her too. The kind I didn't understand, the kind I feared, envy, yeah, I revered. The kind I might have shamed or wouldn't claim. The kind of lady I gotta be. Yes, even that girl. Her and her too. Stand or even forgive. The kind of lady that both lived and survived. The kind of lady I grieve. The kind of lady I gotta be. The kind of lady I pray heavily to be. The kind of lady that I gotta be. Yes, every kind, even she. So again, that was a foundational poem. It was the time I wrote it because I realized that we just can't be married to our everyday selves, that we have to be resilient and we show up, we pull out the ladies that we gotta be, and that we wear this one ladiness. So and so that was part one. And so because that's part one, so there's a part two. And I'm pulling it up. And so I wrote this poem. I've been picking and adding and cutting and slashing this poem apart. And so I finally had a chance to get it to where I think I want it to be. It better be, because it's going to be in the Every Kind of Lady and Her Sisters Pages anthology. Is the first Every Kind of Lady and Her Sisters Pages anthology, and I'm excited about it. So the poem that you just heard just left it blank and left it at a place where women are able to fill in the blanks themselves. So you don't really hear, but this one is personal to me. And this is called Every Kind of Lady 2. I am one lady. Yeah, that lady on the carpet praying on her knees. The kind of lady that come packing if you mess with the babies. I am the lady they call to make the macaroni and cheese and collard greens and need no hot sauce. Tries to feed all. I am that same lady, unashamed to go commando while wearing caftan gowns, mom jeans, and Afrocentric wraps, running outdoors with socks mismatched. I am one lady, yeah, every kind of lady, and I'll be just fine kind of lady with full-grown lady tests doing her best kind of lady. When I'm on my give no Fness, holding my hands over heart, warning, don't mess with this. I am one lady, yeah, every kind of lady. The one for a minute played the fool, gave of herself way too soon, then renamed the baby mama. The same lady who said, I'll be married now, like forever, ever, ever, ever. I am one lady, yet every kind of lady that makes the other ladies comfortable. The lady they call to relay their rights and wrongs, a sister do what I have to do to keep the lights on. The I tried to only one same old song, flip food stamps, snap card stories. The I'm winning at life's mysteries. The escape plan from a man miseries. The Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee love supreme and doing it all while I can't testimonies. I am only one lady. Yet every kind of lady. Walking unedited is my testimony. I am that kind of lady that danced alone in the kitchen to Nina Simone singing, I want a little sugar in my bowl, burn sage. And connecting soul to souls to get back to life, back to reality, to be well with my own Black fragility. Not a Mad Hatter, but just one lady with a sundry of hats. Yet I do solo tea parties at high noon and share poetic justice on open mics, talks in circles and slide down deep rabbit holes, imagining cafes and rocking gardenias in my locks, like Billie Holiday, and singing Ain't Nobody Business if I do, and sharing conversations with Tupac about his dear mama and mine, and chopping it up with Zora and Du Bois on this two-ness and maintaining all of this ladiness with 3 Black sons. I am one lady, yet every kind of lady, creating her own retreats and cheat sheets, polishes her toes only in the summer, but keeping them soft and smooth daily. Eat crunchy peanut butter straight from her jars with a finger. Showers at 3 in the morning to rid of emotional thorns. The kind of lady that throws her grands on her hips and sing lullabies and don't you dare. Yes, rolling both prayers and curses with her lips. I am one lady, yet every kind of lady that wears her melanin deep, loves the skin she in, but the same lady that wishes her butt just didn't look like Karen's. The same lady who disclaimed being a feminist, yet being everything woman is. A free lady, an unapologetic, owning all of her stories kind of lady. The glowing lady, tainted lady, the lady in red kind of lady, stupid in love, modest lady, boss lady, welfare, stylish, misused, and abused lady. A soulful lady. A beautiful lady, the red, black, and green hustler and pioneering lady, and down for her brothers that can't breathe kind of lady, the nurturing, broken, prolific, eclectic kind of lady that giving too much kind of lady, grieving lady, defeated and bounced back up kind of lady, savage lady, the other woman lady. Yeah, the I ain't got time for that lady, refined lady, queen mama, fresh baked chocolate cookies kind of lady, football, dance mom lady, worn the hell out kind of lady, the acquiescent lady. Respected lady, delicate and resilient kind of lady, the kind of lady that writes snippets and tries to straight line paper to pages, the kind of lady that knows when to whip out the kind of lady she needs, the lady that can't wait to greet every kind of lady she'll be, the kind of lady that just love being an authentic kind of lady. So that was a piece that I added and I love, and so I'll keep moving along. I wrote this piece and it's published in the 20 Vision and Reflections. And so you guys could get this on Amazon or buy it in bulk. And I'm proud of this book. And this piece, again, I'm an expressive writing healing coach, and I use writing as a form of self-care, as you can see, to help people journal, make discoveries, to free themselves, and it's many forms. And this piece that I'm going to read is somewhat like a not an elegy, and it's also about resiliency because you get to a place when you're able to write sometimes. I'm not saying you don't cry because sometimes, But anyways, this is for my daughter Nia. I was recently given an award to be the 100 Woman of Color, and I wore a yellow dress for her. Stood there in my yellow butterfly light caftan dress for her. I gave it all that I had, bowed and agreed to the whole get up and go thing, live on thing, pretended she is their thing. Consider taking a leap walking in her shoes, the silver metallic 2 or 3-inch high heel palm shoes, the ones she wore once. But remembered and deemed her being more graceful and physically balanced. Besides, she wore a size 9. Think her spirit gave me a side eye. They laughed with me and at me. I felt it. As usual, somehow it all turned into a cry. Salty tears crowded my eyes, soaked up my cheekbones and cheeks and collarbones. Sounds of howls took up residence in all my empty spaces. My inner negotiator worked desperately to hold and save me. The soliloquies and the okays and some other onomatopoeias gave way. Time silenced and rounded the clock. It was time to do the live thing. My toes stretched open. My foot slipped in and settled into my gray flip-flops. My hands joined in, started wrapping my locks favorably and delicately in shiny satin. Then I stepped out, tasted a moment, assembled grace, organically smiled and cried inside too. Onlookers never knew. They never do. I make it picturesque. Took the picture, stood there, arms wide open, in my yellow butterfly-like caftan dress for her. So that was that poem. I'm not sure about time. How are we doing? Yeah, that was that poem for Nia.
You on time,
Okay.
sis.
I'm on time.
That was your
I'm good.
yeah. We do one more, then we got to
Oh,
move
okay. One
along.
more. Okay.
One more.
So, all right.
One more. We
Okay.
got people in the queue.
Let's see. Um, wow. Well, this is not so much of a poem, but it is. It just says unchanging. Transitions. Where have you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Have some bread and tea with me. So, with that being said, I just wanted to say I appreciate being part of Elm City Lit Fest, the inaugural event, participated in anything Elm City Lit. This was beautiful, and I'm grateful. And look me up. I am on the Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. You can find plenty of my books. I have children books, poetry books, writing to Hill books, journals. I design journals. One of my newest journals that came out is the one that says making the important meetings with myself, daily meetings. And on the back, it says make the important meetings with your things are always looking for a comfortable home to rest within. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We
Love
appreciate your
you.
time, and you know I love you. Okay. Next up, we're running a little bit Well, you don't know that. We're enjoying all this poetry and all that everybody has to bring, and we appreciate these sisters and all the CT lists. Next, we have Sharika Ford. Again, Sharika blessed us this morning with her children's lit books, and now we're going to hear some wonderful poetry from her Awakening series. Sharika is a mother of 4 sons and grandmother of 2. Since 2017, she's published 2 books of poetry and 3 children's books, all inspired by life lessons. She believes the challenges we face can foster self-discovery, beginning each day with a prayer for good health, monetary wealth, and true love. She strives to live a life of fulfillment through her passion for growth and creative artistry. And we appreciate you here helping us
I
be
am
lit.
so happy to be back with you. This morning was incredible. And I'm just happy to be here and to be able to share my work with everyone. So I'm gonna start I'm gonna read from my first poetry book, The Awakening Book of Poems, The Emotion of Love, Growth, and Self-Worth. I'm gonna read a few poems from this one. The first poem I'm going to read to you is entitled "Stand in My Shoes," and this poem basically describes how we, especially as Black women, we may present ourselves in a certain way on the outside, but inside we could have all emotional things going on with us, but no one would ever know because we're so polished on the outside. So this poem is called "Stand in My Shoes." Sometimes I feel invisible. I wonder what people see. Do they see past the surface? Can they see inside of me? Can they see the pain that's imprinted on my soul? It doesn't seem that way from what I am told. They say I'm always happy, always in a good mood. But if they read past the surface and stood in my shoes, they would see the fear that's inside of me, the confusion in my eyes. They would hear the lies that I've heard and understand why I sit quiet at times and don't want to be spoken to. They would understand why if they stood in my shoes. So that poem right there, sometimes we just get in certain moods and we have a lot going on with us, and it's hard to express that, and no one knows because our outside we seem happy, we seem fine, but there's really a lot that could be going on with us. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next poem, and this next poem is called African Pride. And I wrote this poem to lift up Black men. I was raised by a single dad. I have 2 brothers. I have 4 sons and 2 grandsons. So I've been surrounded by Black men all of my life. And this poem was written, and a lot of these poems were written many years ago that come from this first book, but they're still relevant today. Okay, African Pride. Come out from behind your disguise. Show me your spirit, that African pride. Warrior, leader, statue of glory. Somewhere deep in your eyes tells the story. From childhood to manhood, the history runs deep. You close your eyes to dream, but you can't sleep. Troubled by the path your future might take. Wondering if you live to see another day. Dreaming of things that the white man stole, trying desperately to find a way to make them your own. You need to know your woman will be by your side to hold you up in the courage, your dreams and desires. You are blessed with a vision only few can see. You are my heart, my soul, my African king. So that one right there for our men. We all need uplifting during everything that's going on right now. And it's just important for us, men and women, to just support each other, love on each other, and show that we're there for one another and have each other's backs. So that poem was for the men. And my next poem is called Strong Black Woman. Her spine bends slowly from the weight she carries, expecting neglect and mistreatment, making sure her mind and body are strong enough to receive it. Being daughter, sister, wife, mother, and sometimes father make her seem untouchable to others. Afraid to break down because she's known for holding her own. Afraid to show that this strong Black woman still has some growing. The outside stays polished, prepared for anything that comes. The inside seems irrelevant and stays hidden from the world. A world that constantly tries to break her race. It started with the white man's rape. Rape from our country, ourselves, and each other. We follow the pattern, not knowing any better. hoping to breed strong children with hopes and dreams, working hard to keep her family away from crime and poverty. It's a weight that gets heavier as the years pass day by day. She gets down on her knees every night and pray. She looks for a strong black man to help get this weight off her back, then realizes this weight is sometimes heavier, being a black man in America. Memories and the pain has been embedded in her brain. Even throughout captivity, she is the picture of strength, peace, and sensitivity. It is the strong black woman you see. So that piece right there, I think it speaks for every black woman, whether you're a mother, a sister, an auntie. One thing that I think unites us is our experiences, our struggles. It's a bond that we have, that we share, that we all share. So that poem spoke to that bond that we have with black women and how we have to support each other. It's all about supporting one another. Let's see. The next poem I'm going to read to you is called The Awakening. And this poem is the reason why I entitled my poetry books The Awakening. And for me, awakening for me means breaking through something. It can be an addiction. It could be depression. It can be a loss. Just breaking through that experience and coming out the other end a better person. That's what awakening stands for me. Okay. The awakening. Find myself falling into a deep sleep of depression, questioning my strength to combat the emotion. Blood flows through the brain in wild patterns and directions, searching for a way out of this congestion. Finally, a rebirth has taken place, and now I can see there is an exit out of this insanity. Self-love, respect, and confidence will be the guide for me. The eyes to my soul are open. I am finally set free. So that poem was the inspiration for the titles of my book, The Awakening Book of Poems. And I'm gonna read to you. This is volume 1, and I'm gonna read a couple of poems from volume 2. I think I'm doing okay on time, so I'm gonna read a couple of poems from volume 2 as well. And volume 2 is called The Awakening Book of Poems. The subtitle is I Dream in Color, and this one is about the Black experience in America through my eyes as being a Black woman and through raising 4 Black sons. So this whole book is about that. And I wrote, the majority of these poems were written in 2018, and the book was published last year in 2019. So the first poem I'm going to read to you is the first poem that I wrote for the book, which is also called I Dream in Color. I dream of a world filled with black diamonds and pearls, and a rainbow of gems covering the globe. A world where little black boys and girls aren't judged by their troubles, instead acknowledged for their struggles and commended for their courage. Courage to stand up to individuals who try to crush their identity and place them in a box that controls their reality and alters their dreams of security. I dream in color. The color of love, hope, and bravery, where there are no boundaries, and all colors live freely and have the same opportunities. A world where justice isn't just for some, and we no longer have to overcome. No longer marching, screaming for peace. No longer watching mothers burying their sons who were shot by police or came victims to the streets. I dream in color, where we live free of violence, racism, and bigotry, where we create our own jobs and rebuild our communities, plant seeds in the minds of our youth and watch them prosper and are looked at for more than just a name on a roster. A world filled with kindness, laughter, and beauty, where there is faith, progress, and unity. I dream in color. And let's see. I think I'm going to read one more thing to you. I'm not sure how I'm doing my time, but I'm going to read one more thing to you. And this second book that I have, the volume 2, it has short stories and poems in it. So you can read the short story to know what influenced the poem. So this one I'm going to read right here is more of a statement than a poem. It's called The Dream, and it's the very last thing in the back of the book. After raising my 4 sons, I decided to pursue my college degree. Now, I was never much of a student, In high school, I averaged a C at best. So this decision to go to college at this stage in my life came as a surprise to many, but especially to me. I just reached a point where I wanted more. I wanted to be more than just an assistant. I wanted to do more than just make ends meet. But going to school and earning my degree is something that I didn't expect. It gave me an added confidence that I now realized was missing. About midway through my courses, I felt I could take on anything. I had all sorts of business ideas and plans to pursue them. But there was one thing I was still holding close to me, and I felt a little insecure about, and that was my poetry. For years, I have written poem after poem and have only shared them with a select few. I even created a homemade poetry book. But the day I turned over my writings for my first book to be published was the day I began to believe. I no longer cared about anyone's opinion of me, their thoughts of me, or my experiences. All of my emotions were out in the open for the world to see. I was finally free. And I really wanted to read that to you just to let you know my message is always to encourage others to pursue their goals, their dreams, no matter what it is. I didn't publish my first book until 3 years ago when I was 43 years old. I'm 46 right now. I'm a woman who's not afraid to say her age. I'm 46 years old. So no matter your circumstances, your age, pursue your dreams, recognize your gift, and really go for it. My life has completely changed since I pursued my gift. And I just want to get the message out there to encourage everyone to pursue their gifts that they were given from God. We all have gifts. Recognize them and pursue them. Love and blessings. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy I was able to share my poetry.
Thank you so much, Sharika, for sharing this morning your children's book and your inspiration this afternoon. Much blessings, and buy Sharika's books. She got 5 books. She got 5 books. Buy
All
her
right.
book.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again. Next up, we have T'Challa Williams. Hey, T'Challa. T'Challa is also one of the founders, a co-founder of the Hartford Literary Integrated Trailblazers. And we was like, again, I have to say congratulations for your Lit Fest last week. Y'all did the damn thing.
Thank you.
And the work, child, the work. We got to do a clink clink. And I meant to say birthday blessings to my September sisters, to you and Nzima too, because we all September.
Yes.
But I'm going to intro you, and then you're going to do your thing.
Okay.
T'Challa born in Hartford, Connecticut, has always loved the arts, with 2 books of poetry completed and contributes to 5 poetry anthologies and 2 inspirational anthologies. She is solidifying her name in ink and adding living art to her repertoire as she touches the stages across the state. T'Challa been doing some performance poetry, slamming, and all that good stuff. So we'd love to hear from you, T'Challa, and thank you again for helping our inaugural Lit Fest be lit.
I'm just happy to come spit my fire. That's what's up. How can I not be down with a Lit Fest? Everything is lit. So I'm going to go ahead on and bring this lover and revolutionary live and in person. And it's more revolutionary than lover, so buckle up. Okay. I think they scared of us. Yeah. I think they scared of us. I think they scared, y'all. Fearing what lies beneath the realm of blackness, thinking the knowledge they have amassed to be the mental assassin, afraid we will find our golden crowns, sharpen weapons, and realize this is not our narrative. We ain't never told such a crappy story. History attempting to hide our glory. I know you hope we never see the level of greatness we have already achieved. Praying forgiveness brings reprieve, but I bleed red, black, and green. You forgiven, but I can't let you leave the scene the same. Annihilate the BS is the name of the game. So I take aim, ethanol lip gloss, tripwire flaws, backwood moonshine drinking, and some combat boots that's boss, armed with the venom of the revolution and the strength of the gods. I see why y'all scared. Them some crazy odds. You gotta be praying. The very people you have lied to and taken advantage of never gain power. You are so inundated with your treatment of us, you have imagined we will return the same in kind, but we not you. So to assume we would conclude and see our revenge in the way your mind calculates is a childish fate. As we slay falsehoods and cut away the poison with our machetes of truth, I think they scared of us, afraid of how we gather, would rather see us in isolation, a forgotten nation like Shawnee, wounded knee, slaughtered catastrophe, so afraid you don't even want to see. Education masking our victories as if Socrates was solely woke and contemplated at his own will. Don't play though, because them jokers know how to steal. Steal your brother and sell him back to you in the form of rap. Cloak him in rainbow ignorance and teach him how to dap. Though mannerisms be copied, you clowns is sloppy. Ego tripping, but not with the vision of Giovanni. The universe ain't your mommy, whirling up catastrophic scenarios to cover up the ill mess you do. Failed in trying to clean up. $1 million short for your re-up. Greed got you thinking your bank account equals free, but each time you need to spend, you keep staring at me. The powers that be constantly yearn for control, but no matter how much you try, you can't own a soul. So we soul searching in the name of connectivity, because when I get with my sister, ain't no stopping me. And when I tell my brother, parallel goes isosceles, these triangles encasing my divinity, I think you scared of me. And you ought to be. Because as I mentioned, I am the lover and the revolutionary. That was the title of my first book of poetry. And it is the theme of all of my poetry. I love my people, so I always come from a place of love, whether that love is revolutionary or inspirational or consoling. It will be whatever it needs to be for the community to heal. This next piece is called I Am. I am a Black woman. Honor me because life comes through me. All that you know is because of the Black woman that birthed you and the grand Black woman that birthed her too. Prayed over by mother and mother's grandmother, Big Mama, Queen Mama, and Nana. Held by the time-wrenched hands of the ancients. Soul-piercing gazes that realigned your attitude if you thought about being rude. Black women have taught you, shaped you, molded you, invested in and scolded you, supported you when everyone else said that idea was crazy, drove you when doubt made you lazy, motivated you when the dream got a little hazy, fought for you when problems hit you and grazed you, healed you when elements tried to phase you, lifted you up when you were down. We are always around, present, available, and accessible. But the treatment you give ain't always respectable. And respectability politicking is laughable. And your self-righteous indignation is unfathomable. Your misuse will no longer be tolerated, and your abuse will straight get you faded. I thought we were related, but at my growth, you aren't elated. And if you are, you won't plainly stated. Black women have met and debated. We tired of being underrated. We are the undisputed champions. We will forever slay the dragon, so don't even ask. We stay on task with the precision of Egyptian architects, fine lining and realigning with universal concepts. Systems will not be able to attack us as we stand around watching. We stalling, brawling, blocking, and stopping. And straight gangsters is weapon copping. And before your copious mind gets to hopping off the board, always remember, the pen is mightier than the sword. That don't mean the sword don't swing. It just means we killing everything, physically and conceptually too. Brother, the most important thing you do is tied to how you relate to me. The intermixings of our energy cooks up like chemistry. The wrong combination can take out you or me. Be mindful, O ye keeper of the garden. Your mouth produces harvest. Reflections of your deeds manifested in your seeds. The root of your thoughts become tangible to me. I be the alchemy of your dichotomy. It is imperative that you honor me. Been here since bastions gave birth to the moon. Failure to honor the black woman will seal this earth's doom. The universe will take you out before it allows your energy to consume and contaminate the essence of its womb. Don't be no fool. We are far from a tool. We are the understanding of a lock in a room. Shout out to the black woman. Justice for Breonna Taylor. Justice for all of us as we stand in the gap, constantly fighting for those who do not acknowledge the great royalty that exists within black women. So make sure that you honor them before it's too late. My next piece is called Murdering Ish. I'm giving y'all the clean version. I'm being good because sometimes the revolutionary likes to cuss, but I'm going to be real good for y'all, even though we are cultured as, what? I see you. All right. Murdering Ish. So, you think you a killer? I was checking headlines. Doctors, revolutionaries, and fighters of injustice are dust again. And it leaves me asking, what you think your murder masking? There's no silence in death. No, not when there's a bloodline left. No such thing as quiet is kept. Your knowledge is inept. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill no revolution. Absence not a solution to the frustration of a nation of fed up human beings. Government treating us like things that produce, things for their use, thinking us like we squares while you be obtuse. For the truth, what the deuce? This is not abstruse. Let me sit this on your dome. The people want freedom. Just because Malcolm was murdered, the potency was not siphoned from the term by any means necessary. To this day, if a black man says that, you better be leery. We the people are far from scary. We frustrated. And this country did us wrong for so long. You hoping for a happy song, but we spit out hip hop. You want a pretty picture. So we spray paint freedom or death till there's no white space left. You want a sit-in. And we want to walk in Congress and slap the hell out of everybody. No pass. All you turncoats can kiss my black. Perhaps if you sat your tail still while we release our frustrated will, you would not be so comfortable screwing us. Hand over fist in this governmental corporate polyamory tryst where we be your kept woman out back because you like it like that. Quiet in the cut. We black and yet we are also light. And we cannot remain quiet or dim in the grim plight of capitalism at the expense of human lives. Whoever told you to fight, die with the fighter, lied. You tried, we cried, and now we tired. Enough of this stuff. You earn the anger you get, and our pain is legitimate. I don't give a damn how uncomfortable you get. I'm going to be in your face, letting you know when the mess you doing can't flow. Bump medical systems designed to allow pharmaceutical companies to test new products on me. Bump government systems designed to grow corporations' bottom line and usurp the very people that put them in office. Bump the lack of images that look like the children you are trying to teach. Bump educational systems that put creative dreams out of reach. Bump media outlets owned by corporations paid by the government to back the bullcrap. Bump fake advocates talk loud in public, but privately shucking and tap dancing on funds not meant for you. Bump police officers that get into the job to exact their own justice, bullied and ridiculed so much. You have meditated on hatred, and now your president makes you a knight. Bump your silence and your neighbor is black. I'm not Puerto Ricans when I speak of immigration. We go to U.S. territory, you idiot. Bump immigrants who get here and think because politics say white is a race, you deserve space, and anyone who does not look like you needs to go back to where they came from. How about you first? And you can take burnt comb over 45 with you. Bump all that crap. I got a right to be mad. I got a right to speak, and I will put ether to this revolutionary flame until endgame. You can't kill me. Revolution is my name. I am T'Challa. Thank you for letting me spit this fire in your ear. Be inspired, my dears. Uh-huh. It was.
Oh! Thank you, my sister.
You are
Put some
so
power
welcome.
in it.
Sometimes you got to shake it up a little, right?
Oh, girl. We got activism all up in here representing all the Elm City Lit is about spreading the knowledge, spreading the knowledge. And it's about the literary artists and the literature of the African diaspora.
Yes.
It's about us, for us, and by us. And I thank you very much for being with us and making it lit today. We got to go to the next one. Try to keep it going. Amira. We're going to go to Amira Brown. Thank you, T'Challa. Birthday blessings. Amira Brown is an interdisciplinary artist. Did she come up yet? And this sister, I've seen her visual artwork, and it's like breathtaking. Is she up on the camera? Amira is an interdisciplinary artist currently experimenting on work focusing on personal meaning with and the obscuring of such through red herrings, whimsical aesthetics, and deconstructing the picture plane. She lives and works in New Haven, Connecticut. She did an exhibit, a national exhibit she organized to raise artists to raise funds for bail money. This sister is dynamic and an activist artist. And we are waiting for her to appear. I hope she's still in the room. I know we were running a little back on time. We can also get back to Amira and move on to our next poet, which is Dyme Ellis. Dyme, are you ready, hon?
Hello.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi, Dyme. I'm going to do my intro of you, and welcome to Elm City Lit Fest. We appreciate your time and patience and your contribution to making Lit Fest more lit. Dyme is a queer Black New Haven-based organizer, artist emerging into a career as an administrator, curator, and founder. A poet, visual artist, and producer of experimental music, Dyme intentionally grounds their work in their well-being and re-education of marginalized groups centering on BIPOC and LGBTQ spectrum. Dyme is going to grace us with her presence and her work. Thank you, Dyme. Take it away, babe.
Thank you. So I'm gonna flow through this first with some poetry, and then I got some fun stuff to show y'all, and I'm gonna also read some things from my sketchbook. Um, but first, I wanted to start off saying, yes, I am a non-binary artist living in New Haven. I use they, them pronouns, and so I want to start off with a poem kind of about my perspective as a non-binary person. This poem is called Sway. It is inspired by a poem by the same title written by Ebony Stewart, which you can find in the book uh, Black Girl Magic poetry book. Dear Ebony Stewart, the first line is Dear Black Girl, but you wrote the rest of the poem in second person. I'm not girl. I don't sway. I am the wind, the invisible force of nature that make the very definition of girl sway. The same way smoke dances in chambers, I am the silent music, the lick of 7 breaths ago, West African hymns that make a truce with the Atlantic. Now, each ripple reaching for the next, passing a prayer onto they, them, their verses, sea ball from breath to wind, to wind, to wind. Sea ball in a hurricane make everything sway that lie naked in bed with me. The next poem I'm going to read is actually, it doesn't have a title. I'm just going to jump into it. Those words ain't safe for my tongue. Those words ain't welcome in my mouth. Those words ain't safe for my tongue, so I spit them out, out, out. Cuss out, shit talk, slur mouth, slug tongue, nasty. Grandmommy said, be good, and food will be there to balance. Those words ain't safe for my tongue, so I spit them out. Tongue ain't worthy of no grandmommy, good cooking. Throw some salt on my slug tongue, slithering, nasty, ashy words. Leave a trail of spit at your doorstep. Use my spit as a moisturizer, it's what you need. Nice words ain't safe for my tongue, ain't worthy of my mother tongue. Was raised better than to speak it in my grandmother tongue, and if I act slick, I could get away with it in my great grandmother tongue. It ain't safe for my tongue, so I spit them out, 'cause I would have to chew my tongue up, swallow my body, and deliver it at your doorstep to speak what I got to. And I respect my mouth too good to be wasting the better sex between breath and tongue on you. You are not welcome to that threesome. Even if I don't get no hot grandmommy meal, the bitter, sour taste of you would not be worth it anyway. Okay, the next poem is a huge shift. I've been posting a lot about my music on Instagram. Check out my music on SoundCloud. My name's Dyme203 on SoundCloud. And on Instagram, it's 06EMINI. You can also check out more of my stuff. But my music is inspired by my experience with synesthesia. And so I have some poetry about that as well. This one is called I Have Synesthesia. That means the trees have a body language, and I can hear them, not understand them yet, but I listen every day and I've picked up a little something. Each tree, a shattering rib cage, the leaves, ground lung, releasing cloud breath, a storm of whispers, the body of trees would be ghosts without roots and their countless histories. I digress. When sky glazes over sun, the trees groan and spit honey mucus in the mouth of cloud storms, flavor its indifferent sun. The trunks cry like the groan of a woman trying to nut. The veins, her ancestors rooting for her. And this next poem is called Tinnitus. If you know what tinnitus is, then I feel your pain. Then it became here, sure as breath, happening. So long as I live, the horizon pinched, dragged like a fair black sweater and rogue string, a stray sound escaping the ricochet, the reincarnation of breath to sound, the echoes of purgatory, the ringing in my ear, a stubborn flat not knowing when the song is over, a guest not knowing when to leave. So, I am also a visual artist. Here's something I doodled in reflection of the poem that I just wrote. I mean, the poem that I just read. That's really what tinnitus feels and looks like to me. And so I feel like because of my, I should also explain synesthesia is when your senses kind of get mixed up. And so I feel like my synesthesia, which is where I can see music or hear certain things, visual things, I feel like it contributes a lot to my journey as an artist. I find myself wanting to like integrate different senses into each other. So my poetry, I don't like to just keep it on the page. I like to bring it like into the real world per se. So this is something I doodled, but I really love going out into the real world and just plastering my poetry all over objects. This is, I like kicked over a trash can and I sketched out the silhouette of what everything looked like after I kicked it and threw some poetry on top of those things. And if you take the bus or visit the skate park, you might have seen my poetry on the cement as well. Yeah. So I also have, oh, you know what? Speaking of synesthesia and poetry, here's a zine I made. I brought these zines out earlier this year and hid them in odd places around Edgewood neighborhood. And so it's just poetry about my synesthesia, but there's a particular part in here where it's like QR links to my music. And so if anybody had found it, they would be able to also listen to things that music that I'd created in inspiration, direct inspiration of synesthesia. So like ambient and noise type things, nothing you can really freestyle to. Yeah. And then, so I drew this, just doodling, using different textures to, I guess, convey big words. My anxiety and how it shows up in my body and how my muscles feel like crap sometimes. I also have this poem that I wanted to finish with that's kind of about this ritual that I started doing when I'm feeling anxious in my body and I feel my muscles are really tense. And I will take a shower, get out the shower, and while I'm moisturizing myself, I'll look myself directly in the mirror and try not to break eye contact. And over time, like my body begins to feel kind of like mechanical, kind of like I just like transcend my body and it becomes like a very like looking into self kind of moment and very calming for me. So I wrote this. Keep my eyes on my eye reflection. Don't break contact. Not even to grab the whipped coconut and lavender shea butter. Let the appendages do the work. Let the body go and let the eye stay. Become all pupil, all window, eye beyond the eye, beyond the glass. Become the world, so without as within, No above, no below, I cosmos now. Planets stirring in the sockets of this skull, I call body. Celestial body, the fingers can become a warm machine, tasked with earth-based oiling me. No dyes, no dye, the skin just smooth and sun-fry, honest brown. That's the last poem I'm sharing, but I do want to show off how I wrote it. So the way I'm reading it, I don't know if it really conveys like how I wrote it, but like there's like this breaking up of words, like butter is all the way over here, whipped coconut shea butter, which I guess just goes to show like this, I guess like disconnection, the transition between I and I, which actually a lot of people do in their daily writing. I noticed. So yeah, that's me. That's my stuff. And this little zine I made. Am I good on time?
You're good on time. Actually, you were on time, Dyme. We were running a little behind.
Ooh.
And so you showed us your creativity and we're good. So we appreciate it. We appreciate it. You did it
Thank you.
to the T, sis. Thank you for helping us
Thanks for having
be
me.
lit. You did it. All right. And we're gonna move on to Amira and again, Dyme, blessings on your journey. Amira.
Hi, how are you doing?
We're good. How you doing? You got some
Yes.
stuff to show us.
Yes,
You visual, right?
I'm not very talented verbally, but I appreciate the verbal and the literature arts. It's what I grew up on. It's what makes me me. So I'm just
Girl, show us the visuals, talk about the visuals, and tell people where they can buy the visuals.
I'm going to share my screen if that's okay.
That's fine, and I'll come out. If that can happen, I don't know.
Okay. So basically, I'm a visual artist. Right now, I've been exploring how to feel and how, I feel as an other, as a woman, as a Black woman, and how I relate between those two. I recently picked up a painting challenge, where I paint the same thing every year for a year. And as I've grown and explored this notion of these characters, I found myself relating to a particular one called Dark Star. So here we go. Dark Star loss is about generally being lost, being unable to find your way, and just looking desperately for where you want to go. While being lost, I wondered, what is it like to be lost? The frustrations that you feel. How do you navigate it? Where do you go mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? I hope you guys can hear me, right? Right? You can hear me? Okay, great. So that's what I've been thinking about. And in these lost images, I'm thinking about the ways we're barely cared about in general. How we aren't really tended to as a people, as girls, as women, as people, and how we kind of just fall behind. So this is lost. I tear into canvases and I cut into them to represent the dilapidated feeling. I paint on top and I obscure words. Delegated plight, the way we've been delegated and pushed aside multiple times, time upon time. When is our time, honestly? Oh, there's a curse word. Oh well. Yeah. Fudge, or sometimes rage is all we have, is basically about how in frustration, sometimes rage is all we got, and that's all we can do to navigate and find our place. And sometimes that's all we need That's all we got. This is the Lost series where she's like literally drifting around in abstraction, just waiting for someone to get her. Well, but sometimes nothing really gets you. You got to get out yourself, which I'm exploring in the new series, where she's running and searching for this one person, but she can't seem to find them and link up. And this is Falling Fast, where she's kind of getting more existential in her lostness, where it's just like, is this who I am? Am I still going to be the same? How am I changing as I become more lost? Yeah, so that's generally it for now. Yeah, but yeah.
Talk about. We'll be in a little conversation with me for about 5 minutes, but tell us about your artist journey, your creative journey.
Yeah, well, my journey, I generally was kind of bouncing around, trying this, trying that, trying to find out what I really want to do, because that's what artists are supposed to do. But as more time kind of passed on and the more I kind of did it, I just got more lost until the pandemic happened and it just everything collapsed. Like it got ugly. Like my practice just got wiped out. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how I was supposed to do things. And yeah, so I had to start over from scratch, and that's where this project came. And as I'm doing the project more, I find out this is where I like to go. This is what I like to do. I like to explore this. I like to move towards that. And so I'm just really navigating through this. So, and the pandemic was both a curse and a blessing for me. So I'm very grateful about it.
And talk to us about the Bail Project.
The Bailout Gallery, yeah.
The Bailout Gallery.
Bailout Gallery was a fundraiser in which I and 40 other artists raised funds to send to bailout funds across the U.S. in New York, Minnesota, and Connecticut. We raised $7,000 in our gathered efforts, and all of it was donated. And it was probably like the biggest project I ever undertook. But I'm so proud that I did it, and I'm so happy that I did it. So,
well, we want to congratulate you on that project and your future endeavors, and thank you for being a part of Elm City Lit's inaugural celebration of literary artists and literature of the African diaspora.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, blessings, sis. And she has a website. We'll have it on our Facebook page.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should. Yeah.
Amira B Studios.
Thank you. I will be studios.
Amira B. All right. Take care.
You too.
Next up, we have listen, we are partners with the Word Literary Artists. The Word is a local performing poetry, performing arts, teaching organization that features a lot of young people. And so we have one of the, I want to say, coordinators of the Taj Galbraith. Taj, you can correct me, babe.
Yeah, I mean, that's about right. I honestly, I don't even know what to call myself. I just
do so much for the Word. You like one of the Word foundations, so you can say that, babe. Yeah. So Taj is a performer, musician, spoken word artist, 19-year-old trans man who spent most of his life in New Haven, Connecticut. Though he has performed for as long as he can remember and writing for even longer, he didn't start performing spoken word poetry until the year 2018, where spurred on by the increase of school shootings, the dismissal of Black Lives Matter, and the lack of trans and mental health awareness in schools. He decided it was time to use his voice to create change and advocate for those who didn't have the power to do so. Taj performed in his school's walkout as a part of March for Our Lives movement, and has since continued to perform around New Haven and as part of the Word and organized and coordinated the lit word ciphers. And anytime we want Taj to coordinate something, Taj be bringing it together. And we appreciate you, baby. Do your thing.
All right. So, hi guys. So today I have 3 poems. The first one, I'm not gonna explain too much with most of these poems because most of them can speak for themselves. But I should mention that the first one does have mentions of sex and sexual assault. So if you are sensitive to that, I just wanted to let you guys know. But this first one is called "The Boy with the Whiskey in the Back of His Throat." Do you ever just sit back and think about the decisions you made, like, man, what the heck is wrong with me? Well, of course you do. We all do. We're human. Like the time that boy looked at you while laughing and you thought that something was funny, so you laughed back only to discover he wasn't looking at you. He was looking at the girl behind you, and now he's staring at you like you're a maniac. Or when you went to the self-checkout at Walmart and tried to pay with Apple Pay for a good 5 minutes before being informed that Apple Pay hasn't been available for over 2 years. Then you go to the regular checkout and have to ask the cashier what she said like 40 different times because your stupid behind didn't take your headphones off. Or maybe that time you're having sex with this cute Southern MB back at their crib and you decide not to shave like anywhere. So when they ask you if they can go down on you, they strip off your boxers, look at your vagina for like 8 seconds and go, yeah, no, that's kind of thick. Your most shameful moments replay over and over again in your head like a skipping CD, and the only thing you can do is let it run or pause and analyze the lyrics. I'm prone to the latter. I pick apart my experiences, reframe, recontextualize. That boy probably doesn't even remember my laughter. That cashier is probably just happy she's getting paid. That NB still said they had a great time. I'm a recovering pessimist. Dwelling on the negative will only result in a relapse, but there's one memory that nags the back of my skull whenever I let my mind wander a little too far. When the boy with the whiskey in the back of his throat knocked on her door and tumbled into her living room. When the boy's hands dripped across her chest, staining her shirt dark brown. When the boy took something from her that night that I didn't see, but he picked up the phone and called me. I still wonder why he did that night. I wonder if he knew my will was that weak. I wonder if he knew that if he cried his crocodile tears and whispered sympathies into my ear, that something in me would break for him, that even though I would tell him what you did was wrong and she will never forgive you, that I wouldn't abandon him. And when he told me he would never drink again, that I was so stupid I would believe him. I wonder if the boy with the whiskey in the back of his throat knew how guilty I would feel 2 years later. I still analyze the lyrics, but I don't refrain. I pick him apart. I pull at the beautiful lies he told me. I rear at the anger that I pushed to the back of my throat when he confessed his sin. I feel my stomach lurch when I think of how I acted like a preacher when I was really just a sinner myself, locked in a confession booth with the devil on the other side. My forgiveness was not virtuous here. It was never mine to give. The girl sits with the stain on her shirt, and though it fades, no cleaner strong enough can make it disappear, and my forgiveness made it darker. I am as bad as the whiskey in the back of the boy's throat. I am acidic and volatile. I have the potential to be toxic, and no amount of recontextualizing can change that. How can I call myself a feminist when I allowed a man to take my friend's safety and call himself victim? How could I felt like I was backed in a corner when he was the one who built the room? I will never forgive myself for that. And even if she does, I don't deserve it. I allow the CD to replay over and over in my head every single day. I don't pause anymore. The boy with the whiskey in the back of his throat still tumbles through the streets with the woman firmly plastered to his side. His clothes are clean. And I wonder how long he thinks he can keep his radio pause. All right. So, my next poem is unfortunately just as heavy as that one. And this one's called "The Hallway is Painted with Red." The hallway is painted in red. Chalked down with bullet holes pierced through black bodies like the taste of Kool-Aid through gap teeth on the back porch. It's stained. Drips through the cracks in the hallway floor as he dragged himself up the back stairs. Just below the surface, I bet the rats lapped it up. Not much liquid leaks through in the summer months. They squeal with glee as his blood ran down the walls. 1 down, 2 down, almost 3. That was the first bullets I ever heard. Through torn blinds, we watched her cry, holding him. She was crippled too as he lay in her arms, gone, and I stood there shaking. The pop of the gun stuck in my skull. That was almost me. I could have been the rat's feast. I could have been a heap in the streets on a block that cops don't even rush to anymore. They painted the hallway after that. Waited for the red to dry and poured a bucket of blue to cover the stain. You can still smell the red, but what does it matter if you can't see it? Why worry about the brown stained in red when you can just cover it in blue? The hallway is painted in red. I say as I stare at the back door, hearing the stomps, the cries, the screams. The door is shaking. I can't sleep. Everything is bathed in red, but if I run, I will be too. The shouting stops after that. Ended by a couple of steps and a door slam. I'm still shaking. I don't have enough blue to wash away the red. I never have enough blue to wash away the red. I close my eyes tight. The black behind my eyelids is better than the red behind the door. The red is loud though, screeching like sirens. I don't sleep anymore. I keep hearing her cry. Memorial Day is stressful now. So many pops, so much screaming, so much red. The whole street is bathed in it. I don't shake, I just stiffen. Watching through blinds, waiting for someone to run, waiting for someone to cripple, waiting for a lady to cry, waiting for the streets to be painted like the back hallway red, then blue. Paranoia is red too. Paranoia settles in my veins, mingles with my blood, prays that the popping is just firecrackers instead of brushes with death. I cover myself in blue, bury myself in blankets, lay still until the red leaves my body, but my room becomes the hallway, and the man is dragging himself in, and his red is everywhere. He is crying, and I am shaking. There is no blue. There is no blue. Just the hallway. All right, and the last poem I'm sharing is called When White People Dance. When white people dance, they seem to forget about their joints. Their knees never bend, stay stuck to their calf like a screw too tight, and their leg bone hips stay parallel to their feet in the ground beneath it. Their muscles contract so tight, I wonder how their skin ain't just one big blood clot, or sometimes they so loose, their bodies turn gelatin. When white people dance, they're stuck in a square. They walk in boxes, switch partners, kick their feet. They call it mentally stimulating, a thinking person's activity. There is no heart here, just calculation. When white people dance, it's just calculation. Coordination is key, but to the people and not the beat. Beats don't matter, your partner does, so you must walk stiff legs side by side until your ankles swell up and your mouth runs dry. But when black people dance, shit. When black people dance, there is no partner. The only thing there is music. Bodies disappear beneath the drums or dissolves into traps set by record of the DJ. When black people dance, their joints aren't just forgotten. They're tied to the rhythm with strings as thin as the air on a mountaintop. When their hips move, the ground moves with them and they become the very room they stand in. When black people dance, it's a celebration. We live through cadence and bleed the melody. We are as alive as they were in the shadows on trees sway back and forth. We are surviving. When black people dance, we're not just dancing, we're surviving. Our lives depend on the way our hips sway, the way our feet pound into the pavement, the way our bodies pop, lock, shake, and rock. When black people dance, for a moment, we are free. For a moment, the weight of the whitewashed world is lifted off our shoulders and the deep bone tiredness that sat on our heads dissipates. The fact that we move to the worlds of the dead becomes irrelevant because they are here breathing. When black people dance, it's no wonder white people want to dance too. But they so stiff, the music refuses to stick to their skin. Their muscles so tight, their eardrums burst. The lyrics fall on deaf ears. When white people dance, black lyrics fall on deaf ears. When white people dance, do they realize their steps are desecration? That when their feet pound the same pavement as ours, they rattle the bones below? Do they realize there are bones below? When white people dance, they seem to forget about their skin. And when the music stops, when we are tired of dancing, when we want to be free, not just in song, but when we're jogging down the boulevard, they seem to forget about my skin too. And that was my last poem. So that's all I had to share today.
Thank you so much, Taj, for speaking your truth. And people need to hear whatever someone has gone through, because guess what? There's somebody out there that needs to hear what you hear, the truth in your words, right?
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you for being here and being lit.
All right. Thank you for having me.
And all that you do for the word. Okay, we're going to be on the next one because we're trying to stick to a time schedule. All right. Next, we have Abigail Onwanale. I hope I said your name right, sis. Abigail is a second-year MFA acting student at the Yale School of Drama. An undergrad at the University of Texas, Austin. She is one of the most accomplished performers in the history of forensics, having won 13 collegiate national titles for 4 different interpretation categories over her 4-year career. She has been a sacrificial poet for many events, including Texas Grand Slam and Slam Mania, hosted by Right About Now. And we are so grateful to have you, Abigail, to Elm City Lit's inaugural celebration. And we're glad in a lot of ways, because when Black people come to Yale, they don't be trying to be out in New Haven, because, Yale tells you, the plantation of Yale tells everybody that comes, you don't want to go outside the bubble because we can't protect you outside the bubble. And the bubble is what makes the machine of Yale work. I probably get blackballed for saying that, but all the people in New Haven, a lot of people in New Haven work at Yale and keep it the machine running. And then you all come to Yale and they say, don't go outside the bubble, but that's the bubble serving you. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. We're here for the celebration of African American the literature and literary arts of the African diaspora. And we are grateful for your presence and hope that you can grace your presence around New Haven while you're here.
Yeah.
Doing your thing. So we're gonna let you open it up and let you do your thing, babe. That Grand Slam stuff, go. I want to hear what you got.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's an honor, honestly, to be involved with this community, because I feel like sometimes Yale separates themselves from the New Haven community, and I think it's beautiful that we as Black folk decide to come together and just commune, which I find beautiful, and I'm always here for it. I have some poems that I want to spit. I'm going to start off with, of course, honoring Breonna Taylor, and honoring all the Black folk we've lost this year, especially Black women, because I feel like it's been swept under the rug and nobody's talking about it as much as it should be talked about. So this poem I wrote 2 days ago, and I call it Black Girl Eulogy. Yeah. Bear with me, I get very emotional, so. Yet again, another Black woman has been buried beneath the teeth of America's mouth, picked out and plucked out of existence. This country knows how to dress the dead in a hashtag, knows how to say her name or sell her name or sell for gain and profit. I'm getting tired of trying to define it. I'm crying like a lioness does in her fortress, mourning the loss of herself, her being, her body. Are we a tumor? If we must be, we be benign. Don't cause a crime, ain't wasting time on whining over spilled milk that we produced. You can have it. We make more. We, the originators of life, yet this country has taken her life back to her original creator. I know God got her though. Woman to woman, Black to Black, holding each other back to back. Can't nothing comfort a Black woman more than herself. Can't nothing hold a Black woman more than her own skin. Can't nothing love a Black woman more than her own God, i.e. her mother, i.e. her grandmother, her daughter, her auntie, her niece. She resembles she and she alone. If you are reading this, and my voice, my breath no longer lingers in this earth's atmosphere, no, I am safe. I am resting in a garden called Eden. Ain't eaten with Eve, though. I know better than that. And going down that path naked, I lie there, bare to the land, like I once was all those years ago, sinless, stainless, fragile, yet unpenetrable. I've never seen a sky so gold that it paints my reflection in the clouds. Here they come, the women the system has failed surround me. They teach me to love again, hold again, pray again. Here, Black matters. Here, Black matter is precious. Here, Black women matter. She was lifeless there, but be life-filled here. Here, she will run and not get weary, walk and never faint, like the Lord says here. She knows how to swim. Ain't no need to worry about a ship or a boat to take her to and fro. She be her own anchor. She can hold her own sail. She can't walk on water quite yet. She waiting on God to teach her how, so she goes for a swim. No destination, no fear, no flaw, just going, just floating. Something she couldn't do back then, back there. She's been sinking for so long, holding on to everyone's sorrow. She forgot what it felt like to float. Is this a river or an ocean, she asks. It be whatever you want it to be, the water replies. I'll call it my WAP, my womanhood at peace. That's my first poem. This next one, I'll let y'all hear it. It's because that's how I'm feeling right now. To the Caucasian man who whispers to me before the election that his country is finally beginning to feel like his own again. Really? Like 100 years of oppressing ain't good enough for you? Like, ain't you tired of carrying on your family's traditions of convictions and crucifixions? Like, your brethren ain't fulfill his patriotic duty in a church, in a bar, at a school? Like, domestic terrorism ain't a symbol of lynchings on a hot and weary Sunday afternoon? Like, the ghetto ain't become a graveyard? Like, you ain't gentrifying them to death? Like, you ain't already turned the White House white again with a little splash of orange, give it a Nick at Night look? Like, your sister Susie ain't bumped me on the sidewalk, say she's sorry it was so dark she didn't see me there? Like, you ain't never seen me there. Like, I be transparent being, breathing, but not yet living. Like, you ain't create a language the world must bend to in order to survive. Like, you ain't the face of this government. Like, you ain't trying to face all governments. Like, yo, ain't you tired of chewing on the same border bones? Like, doesn't it exhaust you to keep fighting for a system that died with your grandfather? Like, aren't you annoyed by the colorful bodies you cannot bury? Like, can't you see this soil has a different type of blood running through its roots? Like, dude, this country was never yours to begin with. Like, you forgot your Uncle Columbus ain't disease squeeze his way in. Like, you ain't know the blood you slayed is the blood the soil accepts. Like, you ain't know your blood is the one the soil rejects. Like, you ain't know the translation of we the people be he who is white is he who is whole. Like, really, dude? Chill out. This country be a prodigal son, always running back to daddy when gone astray. Thank you. And the poem is just called To the Caucasian Man Who Whispers to Me After the Election. This next one is again about America and all that we're going through right now, but it needs to be said. So imagine if America took the mic from me in this situation. I'll be switching. If America had a mouth, he would use it to silence my words, lock me in solitary confinement until this cocoa go cuckoo for bullet puffs of smoke engulf my lungs till I can't breathe, till I can't speak for myself. If America had a mouth, he would, girl, please. America don't ask permission to take the mic. I take as I please. Matter of fact, what a tasty snack your silence has become. I be hungry today, ready to prey on the bones of the slaves I harvest one late October morning, brought by the boat I built with mine own hands. I've been murdering since 1492, Columbusing my way into this bloodshot ground. I soak this shit up, feed the leaves that bleed red and orange, then name it a season like fall, aka the fallen shall be buried and their names shall become ghost, spirit, forgotten. That's how I get the job done. I be called the land of milk and honey, but honey, don't be fooled by all this money that's coming by squandering monkeys on Wall Street or White House. Either way, I keep my business quiet, let you riot for this wall while I call an army of privilege to sink you into a gulf of dying dreams and crucified desires. Nail the bodies to a cross across a desert as a warning to dreamers that nightmares breeds life here. I've seen a 2-year-old's brown body washed onto my Texas shores in the name of a better life. I felt the smuggling of black bodies creep through my underground in the name of freedom. Didn't they tell you? Ain't no such thing as free in my world. I be your Ursula, and there's always a price to pay in these seas. I see you're seeking the secret of my scheming. It be your screaming, the blood-curdling screaming that gives me the feeling I'm reeling you in. You pledge allegiance to my ass, the divided states of America, and to this injustice for which I stand, one nation in facade, dependable on the agony and sufferance of all, crawl on your knees to plead for my mercy. You who begs the leaders for a visa as a dreamer and believer. Damn, I fucked you up, huh? Made you think you could become home. I could become home. Question, was I ever made to be great, or was I ever great to begin with? Answer, neither. Explanation, no comment. As you stand on this ground, so desperately desired, land of hanging bodies and poplar trees, land of drowning bodies wrapped seaweed, no, your footprints has scattered their existence to extinction. I'm just collecting the scraps, so I guess I ain't the only player in this game. Mic check 1, 2. I'm gonna leave the rest to you. And that's America with the mic. I usually like to end off my my vibes, my poetry vibes with some joy, because we've been through so much that it's just good to hear some joy once in a while. So I wrote this poem to Viola Davis a while back, and I love her and I adore her, and she is the reason I'm pursuing acting. Just to see her Blackness on TV helps me know that like a Black girl like me can make it. So this is for Viola and for all the beautiful dark-skinned Black girls out there. And let the church say amen. Let us leave this room knowing that you with a hue like me has freed those who believe. I worship you, not because you are worthy of just an Oscar nomination, but because you are worthy of all adoration. Have you seen man rattle in your presence? I mean, Denzel was good and all, but damn, nothing can compare to you. You rose to the occasion, such a reputation. You be a Black woman blazing, but I've always wondered what it must have took for you to get here. The nights of bowing to man's demands. You is kind, you is smart, and you is important, but all they ever saw was the help. Doubt crept through the minds of those who saw you as other. Hue too dark for the role, hips too wide. Let it go. Tired of the white woman taking lead as you read whatever crumbs they have left you to feed. And still you believed in a girl like me. So you fight the tides, ride the storm, walk on water until you've reached the shore. And there you are, next to the Kerry Washingtons and the Taraji P. Hensons and the Octavia Spencers and the Gabrielle Unions in a field of lilies and roses and chrysanthemums, arms stretched to me. No visible line in sight, no white woman on the hunt, just you and all your disciples. So I run, fall at the feet of your glory. Hallelujah, I shout. The Messiah has come for me, to me. Though I am not worthy, you say the path is clear, girl. Go run this fucking world. And I, your faithful follower, obeys. Watch you slay at the dragon's feet, devour the creatures with your bare hands, and then quietly bury the remains in a graveyard of unworthy men. and they be wondering how you be getting away with murder. You were born to rule. So praise be to the 4C Big Chop, to the sow-in. Praise to those who paved the path to pave your path to pave thine path. Praise to the unbeliever. May she find her worth. Praise be to the mountains you have moved with one touch. Praise to the chocolate in your pocket. May it never melt. Praise to the dead you have resurrected with your stories. Praise to the stories you have yet to tell. Hallelujah be to the unspoken gospel you preach. Glory be to the tear drop, snot-filled face. Glory to the makeup you never needed. Wipe it clean like a sin. May you be black again. Blessed be to the crown on your head. May it never rust. Blessed be to the TV screen that spews out your bosom, raw and rugged for me to receive. All honor and adoration given to the bass in your throat, to the arch in your back, to the warmth in your grasp. Remind me that though tomorrow is not guaranteed, my pigment will scatter throughout the earth like a field of dandelions distributed in the middle of the windy season. May that little girl with the pigtail twist and the different colored barrettes find me and place me in her locket at night. May she put me close to her heart and wish to fly with the unborn children of her ancestors. And when she dreams, may it rain gold, Fenty highlights, and melanin. And through the clouds, you appear. Golden black bronzer unlike any figure she has ever seen before. May she wake up ready to spit spiritual spells to you. And that is the end of all my poems. I want to thank you all for being with me.
I want to thank you for gracing us. Listen, you are a blessing. we're so grateful that you were able to come through, and we are looking forward to seeing you up there on that screen, child. Like, come on. You bringing it to the drama school.
Thank you.
And I hope you're going to bring some more to New Haven.
Yes.
Well, we do have a bi-weekly podcast on Sunday, so we're gonna try to get some of y'all up there and representing, the Black voices at Yale Drama School.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Thank you,
girl. You help us get more lit. Okay, and lit is. I've been repeating myself all day just so people are clear. Elm City Lit is created to promote and expose and just have the artists, literary artists, and literature of the African diaspora. Ain't nothing else but for us and by us. And we are so grateful for your presence.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. And I'm gonna have the co-coordinators, Sha McAllister and Emily. I hope Emily tunes in with us. We had such a lit day, y'all. We are so grateful to everyone that tuned in, out, did a watch party to just contribute to this inaugural feat. We were hoping to have it in April in live last April live, but this is filling. This has been full, and I hope you have been full. And share the videos with your friends. Go to Baobab Tree YouTube channel because it's up there. They'll be up there, and you can share them or look at them at another time. And as the founder, I'm just going to say thank you. And I know Sha got some words to say too.
It's been a powerful day. We are so grateful for everyone who has come through, those who've been rocking with us since 10 o'clock. It's coming up on 6 o'clock, but we definitely appreciate your time. And we did plan on having it in April, but this was the time to have it happen at the right time and on time. We are so grateful for all the artists that came through. Please support our artists. Please donate if you haven't so that we can continue giving wonderful content, paying our artists for the podcast and for the Lit Fest. We hope that you join us tomorrow at 12. We are still rocking and rolling. It's still Lit Fest weekend. virtual or not, it's still Lit Fest weekend, and we want y'all to stay lit with us.
Yes, tomorrow we have at noon, we have 2 events going consecutively. One will not be on Facebook Live. It's only on Zoom. And we hope that there are poets out there or writers or people that are just interested to register for the Sonnet Man workshop. And it's about like creating a sonnet, poetry, writing for yourself. And that is on Zoom, and that's on our Facebook page. I mean, on our website. You can register on also on Eventbrite for that, and that's limited to 25 people. So we hope to get to 25 people in there. And on Facebook Live, on Facebook Live, I'll be on with Dr. Brenda Green, Ron Kavanaugh, and what's his name? Todd Wiggins. And we'll be talking about and of course our own People Get Ready. People Get Ready will be up there with Lauren, will be representing for the white folks that need to read Black Lit, okay? Because the segment, the first segment will be the significance of Black literature for everyone. Because we feel that there's not everybody knows about Black Lit. Afro-Caribbean lit, Latin lit, all that. We need to educate everyone about it. So we have that. And then we'll have a drama afternoon. So look on our Facebook page for the rest of the things on Eventbrite. Please register. We're registering to get people's names and numbers down so we can ask you to contribute or ask you to just support us by showing up. We appreciate everyone's time and energy. And Emily?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to say give thanks. We all want to give thanks.
Listen, I had to stand up after all that. Like I've been behind the scenes running around all over the social media making sure y'all can witness this. And this is why. Okay? This is why. If you missed anything, there will be replays on Facebook Live, on our Facebook page, and also on Baobab Tree Studios YouTube channel. Shout out to Rev Kev. Yeah, and we're looking forward to tomorrow. We've got a lot going on, just like today. I know I'm tired, but I'm so full. And I'm, thank you to Miss Ife and Miss Shaw for holding it down as I held it down behind the scenes. You'll see my face tomorrow.
With that said, we're going to be out. Thank you, everybody. Be safe. Be safe and well. From the Elm City Lit Fest team, much gratitude.
Until tomorrow. Keep your sweaters on, even though the weather is changing. Don't take your clothes off.
Don't be fooled.
Don't be fooled. Keep your orange juice.